Where do boats go when they're sick? Down to the boat dock. What's going on, YouTube? Whitestrakes Mayhem is coming in ESO in 2024. Now, at the beginning of this video, we always have to talk about the date that it probably will start, and I don't have a date for you. You guys are going to kill me. The comments are going to be flooded. I know it says late February, all right? It says late February. That's all we know. I'm sorry. I know that it's going to be a hot button topic, but please, let's just move on. Late February, and everyone's going to ask. Let's jump into the guide. And a quick shout out to ESO Hub. We're actually using last year's version of Whitestrakes Mayhem. Just kind of go through all the little bits and pieces here. So Whitestrakes Mayhem is actually exceptionally straightforward. It's basically a double alliance point event. And all you have to do to get started is head on down to the Crown Store here, which you can see, get the free quest, and then bada bing, bada boom, it will take you to the nearest Mira, and then from there you will get the actual buff. Now, important to note that ESO has been transitioning to passive buffs versus giving you an item that you have to activate every 2 hours in your inventory. I don't know if they're going to do that again. If you get a scroll, you're just going to use that gold scroll every 2 hours. You're going to get your bonus. If not, it's all passive. So once we have the actual kind of official information, we'll know. But I just want to kind of let you know that it probably will be passive. It actually even says here that this year you're no longer going to need to use the buff. But just to be safe, I always tell people, activate the scroll with Pelinor's Ferocity. If it works, it works. If it's passive, it's passive. Easy, straightforward. Nothing, no skin off anyone's back. But what that does is it gives you 100% XP earned in all Cyrodiil, Imperial City, and Battlegrounds, and doubles your alliance points. But not only that, it adds some interesting things as well. And what you need to know about this is that you're going to be farming Pelinor's boon boxes. So if you've ever done any sort of AP, if you've ever gotten it before, even from calendar rewards, anytime you earn alliance points, you are actively working towards a rewards box. It's usually about 15,000 to 20,000 alliance points, somewhere in there. Every time you hit that milestone, either through kills, through quest turn-ins, even through taking it out of your daily calendar, you're working towards those reward boxes. And during Whitestrakes Mayhem, every time you hit that milestone, about, let's say, just 15,000 alliance points, you're also going to get a rewards box. And also, you get rewards boxes from your daily Cyrodiil quest, daily Battlegrounds, your quest, the daily Imperial City quest, scouting quest, conquest, yada, yada, yada. All that stuff will also get you the reward boxes. So this is really an event about farming these reward boxes, or a couple other things that we'll talk about as we go through the video here. So the biggest thing that I think is the most helpful is actually transmute crystals. Any sort of alliance war activities is just overall great for transmute crystals. And that also means that we need to do our introduction of another really important thing. Make sure that you set a home campaign when you do your Cyrodiil campaigns. If you're going to be spending a lot of time in Grey Host, Raven Watch, blah, 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 set it as your home campaign because you will get additional rewards, including a lot of transmute crystals by getting to rewards tier 1, and you can get to rewards tier 1 or 3 if you're so choosing on multiple characters, giving you tons of transmutes, gold, other sorts of little odds and ends. But to me, transmute crystals is an essential part of this event because it makes getting, transmute crystals so easy when you put it in comparison based on the other ways that you have to get it. Next, you're going to be getting alchemy ingredients, which is pretty good. Alchemy ingredients can range from some of the most valuable things that you can get in the game. And alchemy ingredients are going to be in hot demand during the entirety of the event. We're going to talk about what items to sell at the end of this video as we kind of go through our guide here. But just know that as people kill each other, they're going to be using potions to prevent the other person from killing them. And guess what? If you want to have potions, somebody's going to have to craft it for you at some point. So kind of that's how the economy recycles all those things into each other, as well as PvP equipment. Now, I would not encourage you to try to sell your PvP equipment. Not going to be able to sell it for much. But what I will say is that the motif pages actually do sell pretty well. They look pretty cool. I myself actually even use some of them. Cold Harbor siege weapons, same kind of thing. Not really something that you could sell right now. But prismatic runes, yes. Sell these, sell these, sell these. They are incredible. As more builds become hybrid, they become more valuable. What is a prismatic rune, I hear you thinking? So you might wear something on your chest that gives you more health, magicka, or stamina. But what if you could have all three? That's what a prismatic rune does. Now, you obviously you don't get the same amount because that would be busted. Everyone would use it, but you get a good portion of health, magicka, and stamina. Very popular right now, and you're also going to be able during this event to get whatever the new style is. I don't believe that this is going to be the new style, so we're just going to keep pushing. Something I think is also kind of cool that never really gets touched upon is that you can actually get this like wreath that makes you look like a Roman emperor if you get all of these achievements here. I'm not obviously going to read them all to you guys. You guys can read, so I'll give you just a quick rundown. Basically, you just need to capture keeps, districts, defeat opponents, get 25 reward boxes, read the scroll, start the event. Super easy. Caveman could do it. And then when it comes to resources, and this is where it gets a little rinky-dinky. So the golden vendors become bonus stocked during this event, which is always cool, but also resource farming actually is doubled. So in the Imperial City and Cyrodiil, you're able to get double your resource nodes, which is interesting because a lot of people have talked about farming resources inside of both the Imperial City and Cyrodiil as being very profitable. I personally don't really farm resources in that same way because I find that all the resources that I usually need to make most potions I can find inside the Cold Harbor City, uh, which is, I think, overall still better. But it's an interesting thing as you're kind of going through this event, picking up those little things as you go. This will obviously also be updated based on what we have this year, and we have the Imp actually this year. So this might actually be what we get for this year. I never know if we're looking at the old year, new year, but this will be the guy that we get. Our Indrakes, we're going to have Indrakes again. It will be on our recycling store, and that is going to kind of take us through the final things here that we have to look at, which is going to come down to our shield outfit style pages. You're going to have staffs, shields, really cool things that I think are really cool here. But the Bag of Veterans Glory is actually super interesting because, as you can see, there's a ton of style pages here, and they sometimes sell for a lot. This is the Eben one, for example, and what's interesting about the previous year's Bag of Glories, and this is for any event that's ever happened in ESO that has these previous year reward boxes, you can put a couple event tickets in, just a handful, and you can roll for some previous year stuff. Now, you can't sell it, so if I get, example, a motif, I can't sell it, but you're guaranteed, because of that, to get something that you don't own. And a lot of these things here are worth a lot of money, which means that if you're interested in saving money, I always encourage people to buy all of the cheap stuff here, the war paints, the tools, the House of Dufort, the face markings. Buy all of those things. Get these, little doggies down here. Get these, for example. And then you're going to be rolling for some of the more rare items, which is Ebon Steel, for example, which is just naturally worth more. So by doing that, you could potentially be getting something that has the value of a few million gold. Technically, you can't resell it, but you're at least rolling for something using your free event tickets that is still worth a good boatload of money. And then to finish us off here with this part of the guide, we have our style pages that you can look at, and then your standard barrier emotes, and then the past event dates. Now, I was thinking that it would start this week, but it does not seem like it would be. It probably will be starting sometime next week in the month of February, or potentially even the month after that. But you can see here that a lot of the style pages look pretty cool and are overall really good. And a very important topic to talk about, how to get your event tickets. You can get 2 event tickets by completing your Cyrodiil or Battlegrounds quest. Depending on the method that you think is best to farm, which I will give you 3 really good farming methods at the end of this video, determines whether or not I think you should do Battlegrounds or Cyrodiil. That's going to give you 2, and then the Imperial City Daily Quest. A fun tip, though, that one of you guys suggested when I first started making YouTube videos. Great suggestion. They did all of the Imperial City District Quest, but guess what? They turned in 1 per day. That way they didn't have to spend a whole lot of time in the Imperial City. You do all the quests around there. That'll give you a full week's worth to turn in at the beginning of the day. Then you get your event tickets, and bada bing, bada boom. The event itself is going to go on for 2 weeks, and overall it's going to be pretty fun. So you booted up your game, you log it in, you're probably logged out in Mournhold because it's the best city in the game. You're trying to figure out what are the best ways for you to farm this event, and I'm going to give you 3 amazing ways to farm this event, and starting off with my personal favorite, which is probably not one that most people do, and that is actually Battlegrounds. Now, it's not going to be a solo Chaos Ball weekend, I promise, because that would be a very big missed opportunity from ZeniMax. Please don't make it a Chaos Ball weekend, but why are Battlegrounds so good? And that is because it has two things: an ELO system and a separate system for low level players, champion point level players. And if you remember, you get a ton of XP for doing this, which means that you're going to be getting those good reward boxes and experience. And what is an ELO system? An ELO system is a matchmaking system based on your ability to utilize that character to win, to lose, to draw, etc. So as you use your characters, you're going to build up ELO. But if you're on a new level 10 who just got access to Cyrodiil, the Battlegrounds, and whatnot, you're going to be at the very bottom of that ELO going against other players who also are brand new characters. So it's a good opportunity to get some PvP in, kind of practice with newer characters, newer skills, and whatnot. And even as a CP level character, on a AP per hour basis, it's exceptionally consistent to farm this bad mamma jamma. If you're looking for experience, if you're looking for guaranteed rewards and guaranteed alliance points without having to hope that you constantly win the attacks, wins the defense, and you just want to get consistent rewards, this is the way to go. And if you want inconsistent rewards, you got your Imperial City, you've got your Cyrodiil. Now, each district here is going to give you a quest, which means that you can go through the quests and you can do them all and you can turn them in one day at a time. I'd encourage you to do that regardless of what you're going to farm. But what do you want to do if you're actually in the Imperial City? And there's a couple different things that you could do. The most notable thing that I would suggest is just join a group, kill the world bosses. The world bosses give tons of Telvar, they give tons of motif pages, add rewards. It's something that overall I can suggest for you to do. Telvar is an amazing currency that does exceptionally well across console, across PC, and it can make you a lot of money. Specifically, Hajaku runes on PC, even more. The alchemy bags, there's some great sets that you can convert it into, such as the assault set. So there's lots of different things that you can do to make money with Telvar. The Telvar is the second option that I think is going to be really fun for people to do, and I can highly encourage you guys to go there. Now, if you want to do CP versus no CP, what does that mean? It means that your champion points will either be activated or they won't. Now, most people think that, I'm only level 800 CP. No point in me going to, the one with all the champion point players. Remember, though, the bosses are going to hit you just as hard on both of them. And if you have less champion point skills active to keep you safe, you're going to be taking more damage, which can be annoying if you're trying to farm it from a PvE perspective. So just keep that in mind. And now the most inconsistent way to get alliance points, but with the biggest ticks, it's Cyrodiil. Now, Cyrodiil has a love-hate relationship with the majority of ESO players because it's big, it's expansive, it takes sometimes too long to get to the action, and then sometimes when you get there, you just get steamrolled. It really depends on how competent the people are around you, and there's no way to gauge that usually ahead of time, so you just kind of have to hope for the best. So why would I encourage anyone to go to Cyrodiil based on those things? Well, there's a couple reasons. One, it's actually more fun than it makes it sound to be. I mean, big trebuchet battle. Sometimes I feel like I've become so jaded at the ESO's PvP, but if you go and play like another game's PvP like BDO, ESO's is better by a country mile, and it just makes you appreciate how cool it is to see hundreds of siege weapons just barreling down, constantly on a wall, and then some guy's got a Daedric relic beating down a wall, that he's picked up. There's just very cool moments that I think that just go under the radar. So as far as PvP and funness, this could be a great option for you. But when it comes to actually consistency, how do you ensure that you're actually getting consistency from doing this? Well, the key is going to be communication, being in groups with other players, making sure that you are actively trying to work in a coordinated unit. For example, there's a lot of people that just kind of sit around and chat, kind of wait to see what comes up. Actually, if you're going to do that, just join a group with people. Make sure you're following people around. A lot of fighting is going to be around the central areas here to take the Emperor Keep. That's where it's going to be. But also, generally, in the Craglorn campaign, sometimes you can find people down here in Castle Blackboot killing each other, what's called the AP train. Probably needs its own dedicated video, but a lot of people do this on console and sometimes on PC. It's basically a big three-way battle around a consistent area that everyone can go and kill each other in to get big ticks for attacking, defending, and so on, and it's just a fun time. But if you're looking for your generic normal ticks, it's definitely going to be join a group, or the other obvious option that most players don't need me to say it if they know it, You can build a bomber build. You can try to blow up a bunch of people around you. There's a lot of different ways that you can kind of want to say exploit, but kind of utilize the fact that a lot of people are going to be in congregated areas to build these overpowered kind of bomb builds and get a lot of alliance points that way. It's not easy to suggest to newer players to make stuff like that. That's why generally I don't do it. But there's going to be somebody that comments it in the comments below and says, hey, Jake, you know, the fastest way to get alliance points is if you just blow everybody up. And I mean, mathematically, that is true. And at the end of this video, I will link to autoplay the really good video where I talk about set building, how it all kind of works together, because I think it's going to be pretty big to kind of go through that. If you're looking for new players, we talk about proc sets, no proc, how it all comes together, and just some quick fire or rapid tips to end you off, because I'm definitely going to have to make a follow-up video because I already could tell that this one's going to be a little long. There'll be somebody in the comments asking for a TLDR, or on Discord, Facebook, band, anywhere that people message me. And just a quick shout out to everybody that does message me. It's better if you do it through Discord, because Discord is just easier to monitor messages. For some reason, both band and Facebook will append messages every so often, which is exceptionally annoying. Discord does this occasionally too, but you can always ping me in my Discord, which is in the description below. So always you feel like you can reach out and ask questions there. But as far as rapid fire tips for you guys to know, always sell tripods during this event, but pretty much all consumables are going to be doing well. Things that require perfect row are definitely going to be selling for crazy amounts. People are going to want to be pumping out XP scrolls to farm up those characters from 10 to 50 using Battlegrounds. There's going to be tons of people buying ingredients that go into things such as PvP consumables, and overall the consumables market just explodes. But also do not sleep on the sets that we've talked about in our previous Market Watch video where we talk about PvP sets. People are going to be buying crafted sets. People are going to be buying sets that are just generically good for PvP. If you remember from our weekend daily golden vendor video, Pariah was a pretty big set to mention there and is going to be selling like hotcakes. And feel free to rewatch that Market Watch video. I will also put it at the end of this video as well with the description below. Feel free to check out that video, which will go over to specific sets for you to sell without having to go into a whole lot of extra detail in this video, just because that would take us a bit too long. But consider 2 War Torts as a consumable. Most people don't think about War Torts throughout the majority of the year because they give you bonus levels to your alliance skill. And there's a lot of people that don't know that you actually have an alliance skill. You can see right below here, I have 45. This is actually something that, as it levels up, you get skill points, you get access to cool furnishings, so that's why you might want to level it up a bit faster. But dear friends, that wraps up the big one. It was a longer video. Midyear Mayhem is exceptionally exciting. I'm sure you guys are excited, and it's probably the most profitable event in ESO. You get tons of alliance points, which you can sell for gold, which you'll definitely need a new video, another AP to gold video. Get tons of rewards boxes with things like alchemy ingredients, but also great rewards that you can't sell, such as transmute crystals, although we do have a video on how to sell transmute crystals, but please don't do that. It was more of just a thought experiment than anything else. So thank you guys again for watching through all of my ramblings here to teach you guys about my favorite ESO event. We're doing our 3 giveaway drawings. All you have to do to enter is be subscribed. We're on the road to 20,000 subscribers. We might hit it this month, which would be absolutely insane. All you have to do then is to leave a comment for the Family Feud question. And the third thing is a random Amazon code to be flashed upon the screen throughout one of the videos. If you're the first person to comment and get that code, you will win an Amazon gift card. Thank you guys so much again for watching. Hope you guys have a great Monday, and I'll catch you later. Bye, guys.
You better remember to like and subscribe to Jake Clips. Or you should. I might have to pluck your eyes if you don't. Or, better yet, I'll skip rope with your entrails. Do it now. Subscribe. Ta-ta. Off with you.
Question of the day for Family Feud is, what is an ESO's player's least favorite in-game event? Feel free to answer any of them. I know it's a hot button topic as we have PvE events, PvP events, events that are crafting orientated, events that are just zone specific. So let me know in the comments below. Thank you guys so much again for watching. I know this was a long one, but I always appreciate you guys sticking around. So thank you, and I'll catch you later. Bye, guys.